So this is my Nissan 300Zx twin turbo Plenum. This is how it looks at the moment. This here is how it's going to look. Now I'm not going to show you all of it because it's going to take hours. However, I'm going to show you quickly how I get from that to that. So first things first, this has obviously been painted at some point. To get the paint off, we've got a P80, i.e. 80 grit on the rotary. So gone over with a 320 to refine the 80 grit scratches. Now we've got some 500. P1500 and just do this one by hand. P2500. So it's starting to shine now. So now we're going to put some of this compound on a clean part of this microfiber and compound that. And finally some polish. Again, find a clean part of the microfiber and polish that. And there you go, nice and shiny. Now obviously you wouldn't do a little bit at a time, you'd go over the whole lot with the 80, then refine the whole lot with the 320, then the 500, then the 1500, then the 2.5, then the compound, and then the polish. But obviously that shows you the basics. So I showed you how to do it quickly, but now I'm going to show you the reality of it. This is what about 2 days of 80 grit looks like. Yeah, you can use, well that's 320, but obviously I've got 80s. You can use these on the sander, but the sander, it's not going to get in there or in little gaps. So what you do is you end up with loads of these 80 grits by hand, and it takes a very long time. And the harder bits are obviously in here, and the hardest bits are down here. But do you really need to do a very good job down here? Because smoke and mirrors, you can't actually see it. So with that in mind, yeah, I'm going to get these bits here. Obviously I'm going to do a bit more on that, but I'm not going to worry about all in these valleys down here because you're not going to see them. Yeah, if you bend over and have a look around the back, you probably see that, but from the front, from a distance, it's going to look okay. Obviously down here I've got to make the effort because, well, you won't see that really because the core pack's going to be there, but you might be able to sort of see a little bit of it. So yeah, make an effort in here, and these bits here, but maybe not go too into it down here because you're spending a whole lot of time and you're not going to see it anyway. And just like that, the Plenum is back in the car. However, as you can see, it's not very shiny, and most people would just like wait weeks, edit it and then show it nice and shiny, but I'm going to show you the reality of this. I got fed up, I wanted to get the car back on the road, so I've put the Plenum back in, and I figured that I could just go around with the 80 grit and get these bits as and when I get bored, use a vacuum for some extraction, and then refine it. So the reality is it will take absolutely ages to polish up your Plenum. So what you need to do is either have your car off the road for a very long time, or you need a second Plenum what you can polish while you're not using it, and then swap it over. But anyway, yeah, Plenum back on, valve covers back on, and car is back running. Did have a couple of issues. First issue was it was idling very low and it kept dying. On the back of here, well, you can't see because you can't get to it, is the adjustment for the idle control valve. It's on the back corner of the Plenum, and well, yeah, I must have sanded that and adjusted it. So yeah, I had to reset the idle, and to get access to do that, you have to take the battery out, put the battery down there and use a jump lead, because you can't get the screwdriver in. So yeah, did that, and then it turned out it wasn't firing on this cylinder. And the reason it wasn't firing on this cylinder is because all my core packs have got broken plastic on them, and the connectors have got broken plastic, and I have to match that specific broken plastic with that specific broken plastic for that to contact. So yeah, got that one sorted, and then it turned out that it wasn't firing on this cylinder. Initially thought it might be something to do with that, yeah, that, but no, it wasn't that. Tested the voltage on all the connectors and wasn't that. Swapped the spark plug, wasn't that. It turned out this is the original, well, not the original OEM connector, but the connector what was on my car, which is some kind of aftermarket replacement. As you can tell in there, that pin is recessed back, and that's because there's supposed to be a kind of retaining tab on the wire, and you'd think it'd be on the metal, but I think on these ones it's on the plastic and it's kind of missing. So this does this, which means when you push it on, it just goes like that and it doesn't do anything. So what I did is I tried putting that in there and pushing it down with a screwdriver, and you will find out that even with your car switched off, there is a permanent live to the injector, and then the ECU fires by sending the earths, and yeah, that's earthed. The screwdriver's metal. That was an interesting experience. So anyway, I've ordered some more of these, 6 of them off Amazon for 10 quid delivered, but they're not coming for a month. So yeah, I've come up with a temporary fix where I found a connector which you can see it down there, it fits on there, but I had to cut out the location groove. That was off that little contraption what was down there, what was connected to that, which I deleted anyway. So yeah, I've just chopped that off and borrowed that for now. Also, quick tip, when you put these fuel lines back on, make sure that you put them this way around and not that way around, because that fuel pressure regulator is one way, and you'll sit in the car, turn the ignition, priming it, wondering why it's not starting, and you'll be sat there, and then suddenly there'll be a fountain of liquid coming over here. There you go. What the fuck is that? What's going on with my screen wash? And then you'll come and there'll be like fuel everywhere. So yeah, don't do that, don't be like me. So yeah, we've got the car back on the road. Well, I'll say back on the road, it drives. I changed the valve covers, which were definitely leaking oil. However, when you get the car warm, there is still oil coming off the bottom of the crankcase, so I do need to do the rear seal as well, and I've got to figure out how I'm going to do that on the driveway on axle stands with the gearbox out and the prop shaft off and the exhaust off. So anyway, that's a quick update. So once again, thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one, which may involve gearboxes.